の夜も
Don't know. How you doing? Good morning.
Morning. Yeah, Sarah called because she went down to Mesa for family party.
Mm-hmm.
And I got home from work and I went to sleep and I was supposed to wake up at like 3 hours ago.
She's like trying to get a hold of you. But you only woke up when I messaged you. Oh wait,
So
it is Jonathan.
'tis Johnny boy.
We must answer the call.
The anime calls me, beckons
It
me.
yearns for me. I yearn for it. I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you this. I was at work and there's this girl and she had an anime shirt on and I didn't quite know what anime it was. So there was a little bit of downtime, so I was like, "Hey, what anime is on your shirt?" And she's like, "Oh, this is Oran High Host Club." And I'm like, "Really?"
Oh.
And I look closer and it is, but they're just all wearing like different clothes. They're almost like dressing up in like different clothes, almost like a special shirt or something. I was like, "Oh, Orin High, that's cool. I like that show. It's fun." And she's like, "Yeah, I totally ship Haruhi and Hikaru." I'm like, "Isn't that one of the twins and the main character?" And she's like, "Yeah." And we started talking about that, and she's like, "It's just disgusting to me that those two are, that Haruhi and Hikaru are twins and they act that way with each other." And I'm like, yeah, I mean, it's not comfortable, but they just do it for the bit. Like they're just doing it to troll people. She's like, "I'm not stupid. I know that." And I'm like, "Okay." And she's like, "I know that, David." Storms off, and I'm like,
she did that on purpose.
Probably, yeah. I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry." Goodness.
It's like what Luffy does when he doesn't respect you. He abbreviates your name, Mingo.
Mingo. Boogie.
Boogie. Boggy. Yep. Well, I'm sorry that didn't end well. At least it doesn't sound like it did.
It's okay. I probably was having an offensive tone. I mean, I had been there
facetious.
for 9 hours. Yeah, after 9 hours of walking around and carrying stuff, I probably sounded like a prick.
Yeah. That'll do that to you, carrying things for hours and hours. Well, I did not sleep all day. I watched the latest episode of One Piece. And as we talked about last week, you'll be happy to know it did not go the way that we anticipated. It was a single strike.
Yay! After how long?
They did stretch it out, but they didn't stretch it out in the way like they didn't just add a bunch of bull crap like extra fighting or anything. It was just kind of they did some of the Egghead. They went to Egghead to see what was going on there, and they went back to they did kind of some back and forth with Kid and the other pirates that are kind of like in Shanks's fleet. You know, the kind of the pirates that are like
all the lame ones.
Yeah, they're all really lame, and but they're still like, no, we owe Shanks everything, and we want to fight to protect him as well. And it was just kind of like, yeah, Kid was, and then Kid was about to just demolish them all, and Shanks could see that was going to happen, so he's like, nope. Chuck Testa.
Yoink.
Yeah, I think they did it justice. I actually really enjoyed it, so worth the watch.
I'll watch it. I was nervous about it. I'm glad you watched it and can ease me off the edge here.
Mm-hmm.
I am curious. How do you feel about Kid getting taken out in one hit, just in general? Just like, how do you do? You feel like it was a way for Oda to get rid of a character he didn't really want to talk about anymore, or do you feel like it was a way to show Shanks's power difference between all the emperors? How do you feel like it was?
I think it to me it was a power scaling thing, but also more than that, it was showing the difference in maturity between Shanks and Kid, because Kid was just kind of like going out guns a blazing, was not prepared for this fight at all. He just decided, I beat a Yonko, I could beat another one right away. Like there was no preparation. And I mean, I don't know how much preparation he could have done, whereas and I don't know everything that happened in their last fight, but maybe he did kind of know it was coming, but if he did, that makes him look even worse. So I don't know. I think it was just showing how much more mature Shanks is compared to even the other Yonkos. That's what makes him strong. He's just his IQ is just on another level. So
Well, and he can see like 15 seconds into the future, or is it longer? He can do longer than that, can't he?
I don't remember how long, but like you can tell it was like 15-30 seconds into the future, at least the way they depicted it, because they depicted it pretty well. It like kind of like zoomed in on his eye, and then it went through what was about to happen, and then it like zoomed back out, and he's like, oh crap. So he started hauling butt over to get as close as he could to Kid's ship as fast as he could, and divine departure, his face right in the face. No.
Well, and if you think about that now, right? You put yourself in that mindset of like Shanks at any point could do that, but he probably doesn't because he doesn't feel the need to go all out against someone. He had to because people he cared about were going to die. So he had to basically take it to 100 right away. Now, if you take that now and cross-reference it with the fact that him and Mihawk like fight like pretty evenly, but Mihawk's just a single dude without a crew. Well, was a single dude without a crew, and Shanks has like his Luffy style like small crew. Like you just think like Mihawk probably could have done that to Kid. I don't know if Mihawk has future sight, or observation hockey like that, but like it's just crazy.
Yeah, I don't know if he has future sight like that, but he can definitely, at least from what I've seen, he definitely can hit something from further away, but with a swing of his sword. So he can cause more damage that way. So where Shanks seemed to have to close the distance quite a bit with this Kid fight.
Yeah, more concentrated attack. Because to be honest, I love Cross Guild. I think they're super cool. I think the concept's really hilarious. It's great. But I always thought the power scale of like an Emperor's crew is not there. Because you have like Buggy, which everyone knows is a fraud. I mean, he's a genius. Like he's really smart, like as far as like inventing or whatever, and business, but Crocodile, which I know people claim, oh, he's like he was not going all out against Luffy. He just he was just too pretentious and then got beat. So he's probably stronger than he is. He's probably like as strong, or if not stronger, than Jinbei. And then you have Mihawk, which is on par with Shanks, just without a crew. And then all the prisoners who escaped Impel Down that joined Buggy. So you think, okay, they could be a force to be reckoned with, but those two are the only ones with a name, and how can they really stand up against a crew that has like Big Mom's, which has like 15 named main crew members?
Yeah, she's a bit OP in that way. I mean, if she had brought more of her crew, oh man, I think they definitely wouldn't have gotten. They wouldn't have beat them on Wano. There's no way. I mean, if they just brought what's his name?
Katakuri.
Yeah. If they had just brought Katakuri, I think that would have been a deal breaker, because he's on another level. It'd be like almost like bringing another Yonko level person.
Yeah, well, her crew kept getting kicked off the waterfall.
I know. that was pretty funny. Yeah, so One Piece related type of thing, sort of. I bought a pack of One Piece cards today. I went to Walmart and they didn't have any. Like they have trouble around here, at least, having packs anywhere. They're never anywhere. But somebody had put a pack like just on a shelf, like a random shelf that I happened to like walk by. I was like, oh, hi, I'm gonna take that. So it was a 500 years into the future pack, and the interesting thing is, like I was actually pretty happy, even though I didn't get like a super rare card. I had ordered some cards earlier this week. Like it was like $10 worth of cards, and there were like 10 cards, so they were each like $1, right? And one of the cards I got was this one, Perfume Femur. Can you see it?
Yeah, the Boa Hancock one. Yeah.
So this one I got in the mail, and it has like, I don't know if you can see that, but top corner.
Oh yeah, a little bent.
Yeah.
A crease.
There was definitely a bend in there, and it was supposed to be near mint, and I was like, do I contact them and ask for like a new one, even though it was just $1? And I bought this pack, and that pack had that same card in it. So I'm like, all right, well, that's fine, I'll take it. So
nice.
Avoided it all, the conflict altogether. Because like even the shipping by itself is gonna cost like, I don't know, like 50 cents or something. So it's almost the card.
Yeah.
So I was excited about that. Have you been collecting?
I don't have any new cards like that that I've bought. I did buy the Zoro Sanji player deck, and it has some like fun cards in it. Nothing like really rare, but I really need to get consistent. They have a group that plays Saturday nights at 6:30.
Yeah,
and they like teach you how to play and stuff. I just need to go. Not that like the gameplay is necessarily, like, oh wow, this is so fun. But just the fact that you can go there and trade with other people, and it's like, ooh, I love that card. I have all this like other cards. Like, I'll trade you. It's kind of a good little community.
Yeah,
did you see
build up the community?
that message, that Facebook message I sent you?
Sent me a Facebook message? Oh.
Yeah.
Wait, no. When did you send me a Facebook message?
It was like a week ago.
Oh, the One Piece Endless Treasure boxes. Those look sick.
I know. I almost bought them just to have them.
Yeah. Actually, though, like those, even those cards, those sell for a couple bucks each. I mean, I don't know if that's worth $300 though.
Yeah.
That's kind
I know
of
one of
a
them's
lot.
not open. Are they all not open?
I can't. It says all new and sealed.
I mean, one day in my life, if I ever got to the point where I just, you know what, I have extra money
Mm-hmm.
and I don't care about the money, I'm going to buy these things.
Yeah, same. Are you working like all night?
I work from 1 a.m. to noon.
Yikes. I feel ya. I remember having a similar schedule when I worked at Sam's.
Yeah, it sucks, but you got to make money somehow. Not to mention, I have lots of applications out, and so this is all temporary. I mean,
Just waiting to hear back.
yeah.
Cool.
So, anywho,
Any hoozles.
This past week we've attempted to watch other animes,
Mm-hmm.
but you know what we did not attempt to watch because we watched all of it?
Fairy Tale.
Kaiju number 8.
Oh, nice. You
We
just
watched it in
couldn't
like
stop.
2 days. Yeah.
It was good, huh?
You know what? As someone who is 32 years old and who feels like an old man, I relate heavily to this main character more than any other main character.
Yeah. I've noticed they did it with that show, and there's another show that just came out that I'm also heavily invested in that did the same thing. They like got this 30-something-year-old guy who's you know, wants to be he's always wanted to be an adventurer, and he's like, oh, I'm gonna do it. And it's that Osan Newbie Adventure show that I was telling you about. And he's freaking strong. So I'm like, yeah. That's kind of like that.
Saw Newbie Adventure and longest name ever anime.
Yes. In in like five years, it'll just be like a paragraph.
It's gonna be one of the. Oh, remember when they were short names like Osan Newbie Adventurer gets trained by the strongest party and becomes invincible? I miss when they were short like that.
Yeah. They did come out with another show that did have a relatively short name that I like, called I Parry Everything. His only ability is to be able to parry things.
You know, that's very similar ability to Idama from Welcome to Demon Soul, Idama-kun.
Yeah.
His special ability, just by existing, is he can dodge anything.
Nice.
And it's just because his whole life people like he's been in dangerous jobs and situations, and so subconsciously, since he's in danger all the time, he just dodges everything. And so you think that's like not that great of a power until he's actually fighting people, and then they're like, holy cow, I can't hit him, but he can't do anything back. It's just dodges everything.
Yeah, I mean, you can't hurt what you can't hit.
It's true.
No. I'm glad you got watching that. That's such a good show. It's definitely up there in my favorite shows. I have a long list of favorite shows, but it's in the top area.
Yeah, I mean, I think the art's great. I like the characters, the development. I think that the concept. You know what? I honestly feel like the concept is very season 2, in my opinion.
Oh.
which is not a bad thing. It's just, I was thinking about One Punch Man,
Mm-hmm.
where in season one they just defeat monsters, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or they defeat like, and they have them a scale like Tiger class and Dragon class. In this
Yeah.
world they have a similar scale, and the Yonju class or whatever, and
Mm-hmm.
you know how in the second season when the monsters start, they classify humans and they start hunting humans. It's like almost a similar concept of like, okay, the world's been living in this sphere of like we defeat monsters, but now the monsters are specifically like we're going to learn more about humans and start defeating special humans. But this is like we're going to start with that. We're going to basically say that whole other thing already happened, and we're so
Yeah.
used to monsters. It's just the way it is. And then the story starts with them hunting humans, like special humans. And I
I
was like,
love that
cool.
because taking what people generally know about kaijus, and especially Japan, it's like, okay, this Godzilla thing's been a thing for a long time. It's like, let's take it a step further. Let, let's see what happens after there's been kaijus for a while. What would the natural progression be if this were a possibility? So I think it's really cool. Hot take though.
Mm-hmm.
The art. I'm not gonna say I don't like the art. It's their faces. I'm not a huge fan of the faces. Like they just look kind of, I don't know, simple. Where a lot of new animes, they've actually made the faces a little bit more complex, specifically the eyes. And in Kaiju number 8, the eyes are very basic. They're just white with black dots. So if it weren't for like the story and literally everything else, then I'd be like meh. But especially when they like he turns into a kaiju. I like the art there. I mean, they definitely pulled all the stops for this show, but they didn't want to take away from the original art. So it is very similar to the original art style.
Yeah. No, and to be honest, I agree. It's more simple. It
Mm-hmm.
didn't really affect me too much, and I guess that's why you're saying it's a hot take.
Mm-hmm.
But I've always enjoyed when animes take a little bit different approach from the standard anime,
Mm-hmm.
because like I think you have like the chart of eyes, right? And you have Oshinoko like on the extreme end, where there's like a galaxy and like Cross and like Naruto, where they have like the things in the whatever they're called, and like you have where they do really crazy stuff with eyes, and then you
Uh-huh.
have more simple things like Kaiju number 8 and a lot of like standard slice of life anime and Seven Deadly Sins style stuff. And so, yeah, I do like when they're unique, but there is a point when it's like, okay, this is too plain. I didn't get that too much with Kaiju number 8 because, like you said, the story was just so fun that I didn't care.
Right.
So,
They definitely won me over with the story, the plot. I think that's a good contrast. The Oshinoko eyes.
those eyes are like probably the most extreme eyes in anime currently.
Yeah, they're definitely up there. There's a new show. What is it called? A Nobody's Way Up to an Exploration Hero. That one they do quite a bit in the eyes. Still not as much as Oshinoko, but there's a lot going on. But no, I think regardless, great show, love it. great manga. It's I believe it's very near to the end of the manga, so it's not quite done, but you can kind of tell. Yeah. Oh man, gotta go back to One Piece. Sorry.
Yeah.
Did you read the latest chapter?
I did not, and don't you say anything.
Oh man, Luffy dies. Just kidding.
Again?
Again. Yeah.
It's like he's basically Goku at this point.
No, his other brother got punched through the chest, and there's
the boar was about to skewer Luffy, and Sabo just like and then Sabo got burned.
Where'd Sabo come from? Oh my god!
Why is he here now?
He was just showed up just to get impaled. You're not gonna outdo me, Ace.
I will have you know, I went to read the chapter this morning at 3 a.m. at work during a break, and it was like being released in 3 hours. I'm like, you kidding me?
You're like, I'll be so tired in 3 hours. No, definitely do. There was definitely some good stuff there. They still haven't gotten out of there, but they're inching away from the island. So
the loading bar is progressing ever so slightly.
The One Piece snail's pace.
Well, I'll read it tonight. I'll repent tonight. Do we have a chapter next week, or do we have to wait 2 weeks?
I don't know.
Let me see. Yep, 7 days, 1 week. We can do a last 2 chapters of One Piece.
Yes. Double chapter review time.
Yeah.
Cool.
Maybe we'll wrangle Tyler.
He
has feelings, he says.
He has feelings on this matter. I always appreciate getting his point of view, so happy to hear it. Having said that, I think that's all we have time for today. So about gonna wrap it up. But thanks everybody for listening, and we'll see you in the next one.